today we're working on our driveway paver project. If you've been following along, you know that we have gathered up all of the whole pieces of paver around the property, and we've laid them out in a grid pattern here in front of the garage.
And we ended up trying a couple different patterns. The one that we ended up with was we ended up using 2x4s for spacing, and we kind of did a staggered pattern from one road to the next, so that and it looked like, the 2x4 is like 3.5 inches wide, so you could actually, if you drive over it, which of course you're going to drive over to get into the garage, a tire is wider than 3.5 inches, so you'll always be on a paver as you drive into the garage. Originally we had the whole size of an entire paver open between them, and that seemed like too much space between them.
So Tom had to re-engineer it. Hence, we had to move all of the pavers.
Yeah,
But we're happy with it. We think it looks good. And so today we decided we were going to plant something in between the pavers.
So after we got the pavers down in the pattern we wanted, we came back and we watered just to kind of get it wet down between the pavers. Then we took some dirt from the property and just kind of in buckets, kind of got some dirt down between the pavers to give a little place for seeds to be planted. And you want to talk about?
Yeah, when we started, we had envisioned planting grass between the pavers, or that's what I was thinking. So we started researching it a little further. We went to several nurseries. The first nursery we went to, they suggested to use a ground cover like creeping thyme.
Yeah, there was another one called Tidal Pool. It's a Veronica, they call it. There's different types of thymes too. There's a thyme like a purple carpet thyme, the creeping thyme. There's also some mosses that like a moss that you could use, but they seemed like a good idea. They're really pretty. They looked a little kind of flimsy, like not very
fragile.
Yeah,
like
fragile.
We couldn't imagine driving over them.
Right.
And they also, the more we found out, they're pretty slow growing, relatively speaking. I mean, it would take several seasons unless we bought just a ton of plants for that to cover the area we wanted. So we kind of nixed that. So the next nursery we went to, they suggested soccer grass. So we're like, okay, that sounds like maybe a good idea. So we're kind of thinking about that. So we go on to another nursery, and they basically, the guy there was like, oh no, soccer grass grows too fast. You'll be mowing it every 2 or 3 days. So we're like, well, okay, Now what?
and they also said that this was the nursery, Durango nursery. They said that they had actually tried they sold the creeping thyme and the Veronica and all that. They said, yeah, we tried to, over in this one area, we tried to get that established, and we couldn't get it to take. They couldn't get it to really grow between the pavers.
So we're like, if a nursery can't do it, we dang sure can't do it.
Yeah. So we're walking across the nursery. We're looking at some other plants, and we happened to walk across this little paver, like just like a pathway. And we looked down, and there's some green stuff growing in between the pavers. And the guy that we had talked to was kind of saw us looking at it, and he walked over and he said, "Oh no, there's an idea. That's what is it?" He said, "Well, it's a weed. It's actually clover." So he said, clover could work. Clover's pretty hardy.
So once we settled on clover, we checked that out and realized there's a red clover and a white clover. The red clover gets a lot taller, so we picked the white. It is native to Colorado, so we felt like it would do well here. Doesn't need much water.
Yeah, it grows pretty low to the ground, but the other thing is it chokes out weeds, it chokes out grass. Like it wins the battle of any other plants. So it seemed like a pretty good option for us.
So the lady at the nursery here in Pagosa told us that if we did any kind of seed, we wanted to be sure and cover it with mushroom compost. So that's what we're doing here. That keeps it moist and keeps the birds from eating it before it has a chance to grow. So we ended up buying, I believe, 7 bags.
7, yeah.
7 bags of the mushroom compost. That was about $28. So this whole project we're in for a little less than $50 between the clover seed and the mushroom compost.
So after we got everything kind of in place and all the mushroom compost in between the pavers, and it looks really nice. It just really turned out beautiful. We watered it all in, tried to get it kind of really moist down in there. And as far as watering, what did we determine on that?
I think they told us every day for 10 to 14 days.
Yeah, you wanted to keep those seeds moist and let it germinate, and hopefully we don't get a freeze. But so we'll see. Hopefully it'll work out.
You'll see here what it looks like when we're done. We added a few more pavers leading over to the front door, kind of fanned it out so that it looks better as you're driving in.
And there's our driveway, still under construction, but looking really good. More gravel to be added, but it's almost there.
So we'll keep you posted as the clover comes up, show you what it looks like.